Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about episode 7 of Daredevil Born Again. A Hail of Joy. Before we start this episode, I really have to say that I do not love joy. It's about the episode Isle of Joy. Sorry, bad joke. Alright, I'm telling bad jokes because what just happened? I had a feeling this series was going down a little bit. It wasn't as good as it was in the beginning. The second act of the series, like the middle 3 episodes, definitely were among the lower ones for me. Maybe 4 was great, good, but it missed something in 5 and 6 and a little bit of 7 that I just did not expect. The series was on such a high, and then episode 8 comes and wow, god dang. I have to say, this episode is not as action-packed as all the other episodes were, but I do have a feeling that that is where the strength of the show lies. And spoilers ahead, this episode did not have real fighting at all, apart from a little bit with Poindexter, of course, who came back and immediately lifted up the show again. Like, his presence alone made for a very, very tense episode, which was awesome. I loved it. I thought it was really, really good and really, really tense, and it's good because of the tension that I felt, especially towards the third act of this episode. Whenever Matt gets to the party, it really starts picking up fast, and the steam is just building, and the tension is building, and everything that they are doing with the story, it's building up to something. And once you know where they might go, they really do hook you off. And especially the storyline that they added now with Foggy, that Foggy had something celebrating early, and that he knew he was gonna win. I wonder if that's gonna go anywhere else, because of course there were the rumors that he might not be dead after all because of the comic the story was based on and stuff like that, or one of the house numbers was built upon. I have no idea about that, and I do think and do hope he stays dead. But that made me very interested in what the story might do for these last 2 episodes, because last week I said, like, okay, you did that, so how are you gonna go on with it? Where's the show heading to? What are we doing? And I still don't really see it, but I kind of do now, because they are building again towards Bullseye being the main villain of the story, which was something that I had a theory of going into this episode. Like, okay, maybe they're gonna do Poindexter again, but it also feels now like whatever happened in the end with Matt getting shot on the shoulder, is that just gonna magically heal himself for the last episode, or is the last episode's gonna be a finale that we will have never seen coming in any kind of way? I don't know. It's very interesting that he gets shot down in the second to last episode in the ending. It gets me really interested in seeing where this show might lead to next week when it concludes already. So that is very interesting and very crazy. I do not have a feeling we have been building towards a finale, so maybe it's just a finale of part 1 of the Born Again story, and we will see the rest in Born Again part 2 next year. And that's the way we're gonna have these 18 episodes that they promised us. Like, I have no idea what's happening, but it's all very interesting. And the tension that this episode had really built up to something that I really deeply love. They are finishing some of the storylines with Wilson Fisk and Vanessa and their relationship status quo and stuff like that, and that's awesome to see that finally being resolved, because that was one of the less interesting storylines. It was interesting in seeing what went wrong between the two, but it's also fun to see that Vanessa is just way more fucked up than Wilson Fisk might be, especially considering that she might be the one that has ordered to kill Foggy, which will make Matt mad in any kind of way. So, interested in seeing where that will lead. All right, this episode, it had a great tension. It had a good flow for the episode. I really deeply liked this episode again. It was really good. The tension was up there and it made sure that I was hooked to my screen. Very interesting choice with the colors. I loved it and I thought it was interesting. Every time Bullseye did something with his powers, there was this way of making the screen go blue, and then in the end they made it red for Daredevil, of course. What I think might happen, or might have happened in the ending, is that Bullseye actually managed, hello cat, to kill Matt Murdock. Don't get me wrong, he's still alive. Matt Murdock is dead, Daredevil is back. Daredevil is like gonna take the upper hand, and maybe Daredevil is gonna be ruthless more? I have no idea. I do have a feeling that next week episode, it's gonna be very interesting, and I don't think it's gonna be what any of us is expecting at this point, but it's gonna be really interesting to see where this all leads next week. Alright, what did you think of this episode? Please let me know in the comments down below because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on this. There's one shot I quickly want to talk about or quickly want to give a shout out. It's when the powers of Matt start working at the party when he hears Bullseye. The shot in the glass, beautiful. Absolutely mwah, perfect. Couldn't do anything better with it myself. I'm not a cinematographer, but I don't think anyone could have made a better shot with that. That shot was beyond perfect. All right, thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you for watching, as I just said. All right, thank you for watching. I want to see you in the next video, and tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts on episode 7 of Daredevil Born Again, Isle of Joy was. Thank you, and bye-bye.